best wrestling podcast in the world. Fact. The road-wearing, original Pete, the believing, power of positivity, keeping it Rollins, the Summit. Fact. The homicidal, the genocidal, the ECW loving, daring young creeping, Mr. No Days Off, Scott. Fact. The biscuit and gravy eating, Naomi loving, lunatic craving, the melting pot, JP, and you can bank on that. Fact. The Bailey hugging, the interrupting, the Jaeger drinking, mouth of the Carolinas, Lil Steven. Fact.
It's a new day. Yes, it is.
I miss you, Darren Young. Little Steven, Darren Young, in a evening gown match with Pat Patterson. Little Steven gets a little French-Canadian in him. If Jeff Hardy's going to face Jay Leno in a steel chairs match, people are just jealous because I got skill.
Here's my issue. Is it worse to get beat by one midget or three? Little Steven in a beer drinking contest with Naomi. I have this big issue with people. I don't want to sound like an idiot.
Just kept it Rollins. Jimmy Hart, Triple H, X-Pac against Lil Steven in a microphone on a pole match. Anything can happen. Lightweight. If you don't want it, then don't mark it.
We're three-man band. That's horrible. We don't want to make you look bad.
You're fired, sir. When you want to hear me mess up, they're in Radioland. When you want to hear me not mess up, I did not know that. Wow. Wrestling with attitude. When you want your beer, awesome.
Welcome to Wrestling with Attitude. Of course, I am the Summit. Joining me today is Lil Steven, the one over here clapping. No, we're getting ready to talk about Roadblock, everybody on Periscope, so we'll review that. We're also going to talk about Raw for a little bit and Smackdown. I guess let's go into Roadblock. What? Was it that bad? I ain't going to lie to you. I was watching both because I had a Cowboys game and that going at the same time. So there is a new champ. Support the troops, absolutely. That was on this past week as well. Plus Sasha, yeah, we'll talk about it. I did win picks last week, 4-2. You was 3-3.
Ooh, that's good. I tied.
You didn't tie me.
I tied myself 3-3.
You went 500.
Yeah.
All right, that's what you did. You went 500. You didn't tie yourself.
What does going 500 mean?
That means you're level. You're an average player.
No.
That means you're a solid Daniel Bryan.
No, I'm way better than Daniel Bryan.
Talking about, Roadblock, it wasn't bad, man. It was a good pay-per-view. The kickoff match was Rusev. He beat up Big Cass by count out. Not much to say on that match, really. Then, it's from Pittsburgh. The tag titles was on the line. We didn't get to make this pick, because they didn't announce it until SmackDown. Or, no, the night of Raw going into it. But the tag titles was on the line. New Day versus Cesaro and Sheamus. Sheamus pins Kofi. New tag champions are Sheamus and Cesaro.
I was okay with it.
After they broke the win streak. They broke Demolition.
It was just so predictable.
They had to, though. They had to win.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all did. I mean, I like Sheamus and Cesaro together. Some people don't. I do.
It's okay, but just turn Sheamus' face. Like, he's still being the heel of the group. The
only problem with it is they're doing, like, the Team Hell No thing.
Yeah, and it's like, just turn him freaking face. Turn him into the drunken Irish. Like
the APA.
Yeah. Like, seriously, why not?
I do want a proper tag team to get the chance. I mean, I like the two of them together. Now you can see a tag team change coming up at the next pay-per-view or the Rumble.
And maybe we see the people that we've been talking about coming up to the main
that'd be amazing, dude.
Roster.
Hopefully. Then we had Orange backstage. Orange gives Jericho a gift, a Christmas scarf. Hey, I would rock that scarf.
Yeah?
Yeah. Zayn versus Strowman. Zayn wins.
No, Sean, we're not doing that anymore. The $1 Million Family. Oh. Really? You're going to count Ted DiBiase
We did.
Jr.?
I talked about it earlier.
I come from money.
Then Rollins versus Jericho. Rollins wins. We all knew that was going to happen. Cruiserweight title, Kendrick versus Perkins versus Swan. Swan wins. Neville comes out and attacks him. He attacks Swan and Perkins. I loved it.
Awesome.
I love it. I love seeing him as a heel.
Neville,
He's in the Cruiserweight division where he should be.
But change,
it was very predictable.
Please change it from 205 Live, because half of those people are not 205. Or a lot of them are over 205. That's why I don't like it.
I love him being a heel, though. Owens knocks on Jericho's door. He still won't talk to him. And then we had the women's title match. Banks versus Charlotte. Charlotte wins in overtime. Go ahead. What?
Look, I had nothing wrong with it. Here's what I had wrong with it. If I had anything, was why couldn't Sasha just keep the title? Why did they have to give it to Charlotte?
Here's why.
Why?
Because who's going to challenge Charlotte next?
Bayley.
Exactly.
And
who would challenge Sasha next?
Nia Jax.
Exactly. There you go.
Bigger match.
Right.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, and what pay-per-view is coming up next?
Royal Rumble.
Exactly. So now you can have Bayley versus Charlotte, at Lita. Yeah. And listen, I get I'm not mad, right? Because she, like I said before, this is like a Rock versus Triple H with the IC belt. They win it, lose it, win it, lose it. And now you'll have a break between the two, bring them back together at some point later in the year.
Which is fine.
What's going to happen, Sasha's going to have a WrestleMania moment.
Yeah.
And that's what they're building towards. So she couldn't keep the title from now until WrestleMania.
Yeah, I mean, I have no problem with it. Well, no, I mean, if you're going to do that, you might as well just make it a triple threat match between Charlotte, Bayley, and Sasha.
I did not hear that. But, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to do it, then you need to just do the triple threat match. Because it'll be good.
Right. So I had no problem with that, but I get it. I get why people are upset. Then we had the Universal title, Reigns versus Owens. Jericho comes out. He hits Reigns and hits Codebreaker on Owens. Owens by DQ. Rollins comes out. They powerbomb Jericho through the table, and they powerbomb Owens through the announce table. And that was the end of the pay-per-view.
Are they renaming the WWE title for Raw? What are you talking about, Mr. Candlelight? Why would they do that?
I haven't heard any of that.
The women's title? Is that what you're talking about?
Tables are the most over besides Enzo. I could see that. Let's go into Raw. It was okay. What?
Nothing. Just reading. No, I mean, it was a good match. I just, I hate how it ended, but I get why it ended that way. So, hopefully we get a little breath and it comes back around WrestleMania time and we see an awesome match at WrestleMania.
We will.
So,
this week they were from Columbus, Ohio.
Okay.
Kevin Owens and Jericho were in the ring. They welcomed us to the Chris and Kevin Owens show while noting that he put Chris's name first. There was, showed Jericho hitting Owens with Codebreaker. Owens said he admitted he had no idea what Jericho was going to do. Owens told Jericho his plan worked out perfectly.
Yeah, Mr. Candlelight heard something about that they're renaming it because the Universal title's not working
Good.
out.
They should.
They should.
It should be the Raw Heavyweight Championship.
I don't know why they can't do
Ryback.
that.
What? Who the heck, Mrs. Ryback? Miss Ryback.
You really? You guys miss? Wow.
I mean, if y'all.
I mean, that's
Rob
cool.
Bohr. Yeah, Rob Bohr is about it. So then we had Jericho talk about how he had to make everybody believe that he had an animosity towards Owens. Mick Foley comes out. Santa Claus made the list, which is great. Foley walked in. Jericho mocked the leather jacket Foley was wearing. Foley made some mistake. Owens would defend the title against Roman Reigns at the Rumble, and Jericho would be in a shark cage above the ring. Really?
Oh my.
Jericho. So they're putting him in a shark cage.
Yeah. You okay with that?
No.
What's wrong with that?
Why are we having Roman Reigns versus Owens again? That means Roman Reigns is not going to defend that U.S. title again.
I know.
So strip him of the title.
Maybe we'll see him get stripped before the Royal Rumble. We got 3 weeks.
That's what I'm saying. Strip him from the title. Let him have a tournament or something.
Or maybe somebody wins it from him and he doesn't get a chance to win it back.
I'm okay with the match, but take the title off of him. I mean, have Enzo or somebody. Right, that is good. He won't be in. Will you sure? I mean, sometimes they do. Does that mean he'll be in the Rumble?
Who?
Roman.
I don't know. That's what I want to know.
This is Roman's pay-per-view.
Yeah.
He's, his pay-per-view.
No, if he wins that belt, I'm going to be so mad.
Right, the way he holds it. I mean, it's like nothing. So, but bring the U.S. title away from him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least with Rusev, it kind of meant something.
Mm-hmm.
As much as people don't like him, at least Rusev kind of kept that belt going because you wanted to see someone take it off of Rusev.
Right. And then we have Rusev and Lana versus Kaz and Enzo. Winner by DQ is Rusev. Then we had Charlotte and Banks coming up next. Okay. Former women's champion had a brace on her leg. Charlotte came out. Nia Jax made her entrance.
But no, Roman Reigns does not need to go to SmackDown because if he goes to SmackDown, we're just gonna see him and AJ, and or him and Ambrose. I don't want to see that with him. I think he's good of where he is. I do.
Right.
But
who, Roman?
Yeah.
It's too late to put him on SmackDown now.
Yeah, I just think you kept him on. I mean, I think he's perfect where he is.
So Jax came out. It's going to be a match between her and Sasha, which is fine. You don't see Sasha go over and try to, get back into it. Then you saw Cedric Alexander backstage with his girlfriend, Alicia Fox. Sheamus and Cesaro were off as general manager Mick Foley.
Yeah.
Strowman was shown backstage looking angry. He showed a couple people. Say he wants to fight Sami Zayn again. Next up, we had Austin Aries from 205 showed up to join the commentary team for the match.
The great Austin Aries? Is that what you were about to say over there?
He was great. There was a clip from 2 weeks ago with Nobar Dar beat Cedric. Cedric versus Nobar Dar. Cedric wins by pinfall with his new girlfriend.
Well, who would you book next against Roman?
Against Roman?
For that
for
title?
U.S. title?
I actually would like someone said
Strowman?
on there, I would love to see Strowman. Yeah, someone said that on there. I'd love to see Strowman, but if not
Strowman versus Zayn?
Yeah, because someone needs to take that title off him. I think Strowman would be perfect because he's a monster.
Right.
And you could have it in a way where it won't hurt Roman. But if not Strowman, then I would say, gosh, who would take that title from him? I can't really think of any other mid-card heel. Can you?
No. Rusev, but I mean,
do we really want to see that again?
Big Kaz would be a good face to do. If you're pushing Kaz to be a single wrestler,
yeah, U.S. title would be great.
Yeah, Big E, young Big E, yeah, you could see that if you want to have Xavier and Kofi be the tag team, and then Big E could be the single guy, the single.
Or
wrestler.
heck, Xavier. It'd be weird, but he could win. He could win dirty.
Yeah. Then we had New Day. Came to the ring. They said after 483 days of history title reign, without losing 15 times, and that will be Charlotte, in a month. Okay. Cesaro and Sheamus came out. We had Luke Gallows and Anderson came out. Epico and Primo came out. They made a match. Kofi, Big E, Cesaro, Sheamus versus Luke, Anderson, Primo, and Epico. Winner by submission is Kofi, Big E, Cesaro, and Sheamus.
There's really nothing to say. To that
Neville made his entrance. I love the look for him, and I think it's great. Then you had Titus O'Neil versus Sin Cara. Cara hit a crossbody block. Braun Strowman music hit. So he beat up both of those guys. Then we had Jericho and Owens backstage. Charlotte made her entrance. She bragged for a little bit. Bayley came out. So you're going to see Bayley and
we're going to see Bayley and Charlotte, which is
in
fine.
a mile title match. Bayley won by pinfall.
So now she's going to get her chance,
Right.
which is cool.
And then you have Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns versus Owens and Jericho. Winner by DQ, Rollins and Reigns.
All right.
So there you go.
That was Raw for you.
That was Raw. Not a lot stood out. Then you had SmackDown. You have Styles versus Ellsworth.
We don't need to talk about it.
He defeated James Ellsworth. Did anybody enjoy the match? I'm sure Candlelight did.
I really didn't.
Then you had Miz defeated Apollo Crews. Renee Young asked about The Miz about his session with Dean Ambrose. The Miz says Renee Young is the one obsessed with Ambrose because, after all, you're the one sleeping with him. Woo! Shots fired. I love The Miz and Ambrose together. I think it's great. Then you had Natalya and Nikki's storyline. Ambrose versus Harper.
Really? Ellsworth will win the Rumble? You have really high hopes. Ooh, that would be kind of cool. Miz and Maurice versus Dean and Renee, but you're not ever going to see Renee wrestle. You might, but I don't know.
La Luchador, a.k.a. Becky, defeated Alexa Bliss.
What?
She's wearing a mask.
La Luchador?
Yeah. So we'll see. Then we had Mojo Rawley defeated Kurt Hawkins. Oh, Jesus. Ellsworth's covering bandaging, has a cast on his neck brace. And Carmella, I guess, says she's gonna take care of Ellsworth or something. Ziggler versus Corbin, double count out. So now they made a match on SmackDown. Ziggler, Corbin, AJ Styles, and Four Corners match next week.
Okay.
So there you go.
Yeah. What do you mean Kurt Hawkins a jobber now? He's always been a jobber.
Yeah, tell me when he hasn't been one. But that's your week in wrestling. Did you watch 205L? I did not. I have not.
I did not watch it yet. I didn't get time. I don't know about Raw's death is so small compared to SmackDown's. I don't believe that. I just think that SmackDown...
Raw's death compared to SmackDown.
Yeah, like it's smaller, the depth. I disagree with
the
that.
The depth on Raw is smaller than SmackDown?
Yeah.
It's not even close. Dude.
No.
Look at SmackDown. Who do you have really? I mean, on Raw, look at the heavyweight title picture.
I think people are just seeing that SmackDown, they got to cram so much in 2 hours. Raw can stretch it out. That's the difference. So it looks better on SmackDown, but it isn't. That's what you got to look at it. It really isn't better. It's just the matches are quicker or the matches are longer. It looks like more wrestling because they got to cram it in 2 hours. That's all SmackDown does.
Right.
What do you mean apart from Roman, Seth, and Kevin, there are no main eventers? Jericho's a main eventer, whether you want to put him in there or not. Enzo and Cass. Enzo and Cass can be main eventers. They're tag teams, but they're main eventers. I could see them ending the show.
Listen,
Charlotte and Sasha are main eventers.
Finn Balor, you're forgetting when he comes back.
Yeah, but
right?
he's not
That's
there.
another one. I mean, there's a lot more depth on Raw. And Braun might be. I mean,
and what do you mean main eventers? I mean, SmackDown's got what? 3 main eventers right now? I'm not counting John Cena because he's not there.
But if you go to SmackDown, okay, really? Dolph Ziggler, Baron Corbin, really? That is your depth? I mean, I'll take with the known commodities on Raw over that. I mean, because Owens, Jericho, Rollins, and Reigns will have better matches than those. I mean, AJ Styles going to put a great match no matter what. But the depth on Raw is better. I mean,
Yeah, and I like that, too, that they had Braun in the show this week. That was cool because it was something different. I like that, but I feel it's the same stuff every week on SmackDown. It's Styles, Ellsworth, and Ambrose. That's all it is right now. So there's no difference, in my opinion, if you're just going to say they have 4 guys.
The last thing real fast is I don't know if anybody watched TNA last week with the deletions and anybody's thoughts.
No. What was this whole thing about him calling out Triple H? Did you read about that?
I saw it. Yeah.
Well,
They're just mocking them because they're trying to get a story.
I know.
It's the same, it's just trying to get it publicity.
Well, it's the same women's feud because think of who you have on Raw. I mean, you really only have 2 or 3 good women's wrestlers.
I would take that women's feud over any women's feud on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Okay, I would rather see that same women's feud for 6 months than see Alexa Bliss and Becky for 2 or 3 months. I mean, because they're a lot better than the other 2 on SmackDown.
Well, we agree on that.
You don't see Bayley, and then you don't see Bayley in the picture. I mean, that's 3. Nia Jax. I mean, is Carmella really needing to be the title picture? No. Alexa Bliss should not be champ.
No.
ATM, I don't know about that. Emelina, I don't know about Emelina, but yeah, Nia Jax,
By the way, Emelina, just go ahead and, make your debut. I don't want to see you anymore. Just go back to Australia, stay there. I don't want to see you anymore if you're not gonna be out before the new year. I don't want to see you because I've seen it for 3 months. I don't care. Leave. I don't like the Emelina things anymore.
Right. Same people. Hey, I just I think Raw is a little bit better. Do you have anything to say?
No, I just don't like it because we've seen this before. The add-on and add-on. I don't like that. Go ahead and make your debut. It's getting tiring. It's getting stale.
So,
that's all.
Everybody, thank you for tuning in on today's show. Next week, we will have a special show. It'll be end-of-year awards.
Woo!
It'll be the WWA whammies. No, I'm just kidding. Not the whammies.
The whammies?
No, we ain't doing the whammies.
The whammies?
I'm kidding.
Whammies!
We'll do the first one ever.
I feel like that's copyrighted.
And plus, we're going to induct somebody into the WWA Hall of Fame.
We're going to have a WWA Hall of Fame?
Yeah, we'll start this year.
Yay!
Remember Mitch. Oh, don't worry. He's getting in. Him and David Arquette.
He's the headliner.
There's a lot of shoveling going into that, if you know what I mean.
That's a horrible, horrible joke.
Anyway, you were listening to Wrestling with Attitude. Everybody have a great Christmas, great holidays. We'll see y'all later.
Dead man walking, go put a body bag on. I just rock the gear that they never put a tag on. Hanging with the girls you can never get a hand on. Top, this ain't even my peak, and everything they said was out of my reach. It's getting so close now, did it all for the hometown. Time all year we ain't skipped a beat. Top, this ain't even my peak, and everything they said was out of my reach. It's getting so close now, did it all for the hometown. Time all year we ain't skipped a beat. You know what it is, I'll be puffing out my chest. I'm around a hard check, screaming homo to the death.